For over a decade, he was the face of golf, the youngest player to ever complete the career Grand Slam, the world number one for a record 683 weeks, a man whose name was more valuable than the sport itself. But behind the flawless swing and carefully controlled image was a man spiraling into chaos, a secret life, a web of infidelity, addiction, and recklessness that would eventually come crashing down in front of the entire world. The most famous golfer in history, someone who built an empire, fell from grace, and fought for redemption in the most public way imaginable. This is the story of Tiger Woods. Eldrick Taunt Woods was born on December 30th, 1975, in Cypress, California. His father, Earl Woods, a former U.S. Army officer, gave him the nickname Tiger in honor of a South Vietnamese soldier he once served alongside. From the very beginning, Earl believed Tiger was destined for greatness, not only in golf but in life. At just 2 years old, Tiger made his first national television appearance on The Mike Douglas Show, where he confidently made putts in front of Bob Hope and Jimmy Stewart. By age 3, Tiger shot a remarkable 48 over 9 holes at the Navy Golf Course in Cypress, a 6,750-yard course, a feat most adults would struggle to match. By the time he was 8, he had already won the Junior World Golf Championship, a tournament he would eventually win 6 times in his youth. Apart from being extraordinarily gifted, he was also trained with military discipline and relentless focus by his father. Earl Woods was more than a supporting father. He was a mentor and guiding force who taught Tiger that golf was not merely a sport, but a discipline and a calling. He instilled in him a belief in a greater purpose that transcended the game itself. In fact, he often referred to his son as the chosen one, who would break racial barriers and reshape the face of golf. We don't know if that was prophecy or pressure, but we do know that Tiger absorbed it all. In 1996, after a record-breaking amateur career that included 3 consecutive U.S. amateur titles, Tiger Woods turned professional. He was 20 at the time. He signed a $40 million endorsement deal with Nike before he had even won a tournament. And then he issued a 2-word statement that would become iconic. Hello, world. Less than a year after turning professional, at the 1997 Masters, held at Augusta National, Tiger won with what remains the largest margin of victory in Masters history. It was also Tiger's first major championship appearance as a professional, making the feat even more extraordinary. At just 21 years old, Tiger became the youngest winner of the Masters and the first man of Black and Asian heritage to claim a major championship. This was an achievement that transcended sports and shattered decades of exclusion and bias in the game. From 2000 to 2002, Tiger entered a zone that no athlete in any sport has replicated. He won 6 of 11 majors. He completed what became known as the Tiger Slam, holding all 4 major titles simultaneously. At the age of 24, he was the youngest ever to complete the career Grand Slam, and he didn't slow down. In 2005, Tiger reclaimed his world #1 ranking after winning both the Masters and the Open Championship. He would go on to win 6 PGA Tour events that year, and 8 more the following year, including another PGA Championship. In 2007, he won another major, and the next year, he delivered one of the most dramatic victories in golf history, winning the U.S. Open with a fractured leg. Woods called it his greatest ever championship. By the time Tiger was 32, he had won 14 major championships and 65 PGA Tour titles. He held the world #1 ranking for a total of 683 weeks, including a stretch of 281 consecutive weeks, a record that still stands. Tiger was a phenomenon. His presence alone elevated television ratings, tournament attendance, and the global relevance of golf. Nike, Gatorade, EA Sports, Rolex. Everyone wanted a piece. He even had his own line of apparel and his own video game franchise. By his early 30s, he had earned more endorsement money than any athlete in history, but all that money came with a price: scrutiny, pressure, and the growing need to control every part of his image. To the public, Tiger was clean-cut and disciplined, a man who never raised his voice or showed weakness. But behind closed doors, a different story was unfolding. For years, Tiger's inner circle helped preserve the illusion, a life of discipline, structure, and focus. But the truth, as it would later emerge, was darker. Tiger had created a secret world, filled with late-night rendezvous, hidden affairs, burner phones, and hotel aliases. He had affairs with waitresses, models, and adult film stars, sometimes multiple women at once. According to those who worked with him, it wasn't just a slip, it was a lifestyle. And then, in November 2009, the mask dropped. A mysterious car crash outside his Florida home made headlines. Reports surfaced that Tiger had hit a fire hydrant and a tree while leaving his house after a fight with his wife, Ellen, over infidelity. Soon the tabloid stories started rolling in. One woman, then another, then over a dozen. They all came forward claiming to have had affairs with the golfer. As you can imagine, the media went into a frenzy, and the world watched as Tiger, once so private and invincible, became front-page scandal material. He lost major sponsors, his reputation collapsed, and in a rare televised apology he admitted, "I was unfaithful, I had affairs, I cheated." Tiger's fall from grace wasn't just about the headlines or the sponsors walking away. It was happening on the inside too. Long before the tabloids blew up, his body had already started breaking down. All those years of violent, powerful swings had taken their toll. There were knee surgeries, Achilles problems, and back injuries. Between 2010 and 2017, Tiger was in and out of the game trying to push through the pain. He'd show up and play, but the results were inconsistent. He had 4 back surgeries in that time. The last one, a spinal fusion, was the kind of surgery most players don't come back from. Still, he kept trying. Even when the world doubted him, even when his own body seemed to be working against him, he kept showing up, trying to recreate that old magic. But then came May 2017, one of the darkest moments of his life. Just weeks after surgery, Tiger was found asleep at the wheel of his car in Florida. He wasn't drunk, but the toxicology report said it all. 5 different drugs in his system, painkillers, sleep meds, anti-anxiety pills. The mugshot was everywhere. This wasn't the Tiger Woods the world knew, not the champion, not the icon. This was a man who looked completely broken. And yet somehow, this wasn't the end. After the spinal fusion surgery, Tiger had begun a slow, methodical recovery. In 2018, he started playing again. At first, he was playing cautiously, but then flashes of the old brilliance started showing. And then, in 2019, the unthinkable happened. At the Masters, 14 years after his last win at Augusta, Tiger Woods made one of the most emotional comebacks in sports history. With the world watching and his children waiting behind the 18th green, he pulled off the improbable, a 5th green jacket, his 15th major. He was no longer the invincible force, but this was redemption nonetheless. But as fate would have it, in February 2021, Tiger was involved in a high-speed single-car crash in Los Angeles. His SUV rolled over several times. The injuries he faced this time were catastrophic. Doctors said it wasn't just career-threatening, it was life-threatening. Once again, Tiger faced months of rehab, but this time he had to learn to walk before he could swing. These days, Tiger plays in select majors and exhibition events, but no longer competes full-time. His presence at Augusta or St. Andrews still electrifies crowds, but he's more of a mentor now. He's poured energy into his son, Charlie, who's already making some headlines in the golfing world. They've played in father-son tournaments, and Tiger beams with pride as he watches Charlie mimic his swing, his fist pump, and his poise. At his peak, Tiger broke records, he broke barriers, and somehow after throwing it all away, he's still here,